Hello, everyone. It's Charlton, and this polar bear right here was shot and killed Saturday, yesterday, following an attack of somebody from a cruise ship, and it was an employee of the cruise ship. He was actually a polar bear guard. That's what he is called over here at Yahoo News. I looked at all the different articles on it. It's pretty much the same article over and over again. And there's not a whole lot of information and behind how the attack happened, but it does say that two employees that are specifically for, guarding against guarding for the animals, the wildlife there, particularly the polar bears for the tourists that are getting off the ship in an island in Norway. It's called Svalbard, or small Svalbard Archipelago, which is right here on the map. Here's Greenland, and here's Norway down here, and this is Svalbard, and it's the specific spot or island where they disembarked. Is named in the Fox article. I'll get to it in a second. And this is, it's the North Pole is straight from here and up. So it's This is part of Norway, but it's in between mainland Norway and the North Pole, which is not visible on the map, and it actually won't go out any further than it's shown right there. And here's the Arctic Ocean. So, um, it's obviously a shame, and you can see the red mark in his neck right there. And I've made the picture much bigger here. You can see he was shot, I believe, by the other guard, the two guards that are basically specifically for, keeping an eye out for polar bears, while the people on the cruise ship get off to for some kind of an expedition. One was attacked and the other one shot it to save the guy, and the guy was flown out by helicopter. He was unresponsive at the time, but according to doctors who spoke to somebody in this article, he's going to be okay, and that it's non-life threatening. But they did have to shoot and kill the polar bear. Again, exactly how the attack went down, and it's confusing to me. It is. I just have this picture of how did you not see the bear, when they were getting off of the ship? And apparently there's only a couple places where they can literally disembark in this part of the on this particular trip. So, but it's become quite active, or quite a popular tourist destination. I think up to 18 ships are supposed to dock there in the next week. So activity is risen greatly in recent, in the last year or so. And I think that could be, what's causing these things. You have the incursion of man and wildlife, and then just um, just the nature of law numbers. Eventually, these things happen. So that's my thinking. A polar bear was shot dead after attacking a German cruise ship worker on Norway's Svalbard archipelago in the Arctic Ocean, the authorities said. The unnamed man in his 40s suffered a head injury shortly after landing on Spitsbergen Island. That's what that was the name I was searching for, and that little red mark is for that right there. So Spitsbergen. I don't know where they're disembarking there. I really have no idea. But let me just continue. He was accompanying a tourist expedition from the MS Bremen. That's the name of the ship. It's a German cruise line, Hapag Lloyd Cruises, on Saturday. The bear was killed by another employee on the boat. Okay, it was done in self-defense. We greatly regret this incident. The injured employee was flown by helicopter to a local hospital. And the hospital told AFP the man's life was not in danger and he was in stable condition. Landings are only possible at a few places in the archipelago. Usually, as soon as an animal approaches, the landing stops immediately. The company said excursions of this nature require staff to check areas before landing and to protect those on board against polar bear attacks. Polar bears have been protected in Norway since 1973. Nearly 1,000 were counted on Svalbard during a 2015 census. So there's only 1,000 on that particular island. I don't know what the count is worldwide, but 5 fatal polar bear attacks have been recorded on Svalbard in the last 40 years. The most recent was in 2011. I read about this. A 17-year-old was killed as a student tourist, and he was grabbed by the head. And others were hurt, injured as well, but the 17-year-old was killed. The 17-year-old Briton died, and 4 others, members of an expedition, were hurt before the bear was killed in 2011. So, but it's just strange. Like, I don't understand. They were letting people off the boat, and apparently it attacked one of the 2 guards that were specifically polar bear guards, and the other guard shot the polar bear. So, German Hapag-Lloyd Cruises Company, which operates MS Brandon, told the Associated Press that 2 polar bear guards from their ship went on the island, and one of them was attacked by a polar bear and injured on his head. The polar bear was then shot dead in an act of self-defense by the second guard. I assume they went to scout things, before people were getting off the, but I don't know that for sure. It doesn't tell you. The worker, a designated polar bear guard, suffered a head injury as he led tourists off. There it is, right there. I knew I read it somewhere. So he suffered a head injury as he led tourists off the ship and was unresponsive as he was airlifted for medical treatment. Sky News reported. Sky News is the sort of sister company or station in Britain, I think, for Fox News. But that's what just confuses me. How he was attacked as he just didn't see him, and or what. So according to Hapag-Lloyd Cruises, all of the cruise ships traveling in the region are obliged to have polar bear guards aboard. Arctic tourism is the region has risen sharply in the past few years, and now is in high season as people travel to visit the remote terrain, glaciers, reindeer, and polar bears. And that's where it was said a review of the schedule by AP showed that 18 cruise ships will be docking at the Arctic port in the next week. Excuse me, goodness. All right, well, that's the story there, man. What a shame, And that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.